a land where summer light lingers for days, never dimming, yet winter brings the absolute stillness of an endless night. Massive glaciers creep forward over centuries, shaping the rugged landscape, while bays shimmer under the sunlight, reflecting the unforgiving journey of survival. Once a realm of eternal ice and bone-chilling winds, Alaska is now changing. The glaciers are retreating, the ground is sinking, and the seawater is warming. Every creature must adapt or face extinction. Species that have endured for thousands of years are now forced to embark on an uncertain and perilous journey. Alaska, home to the toughest, the strongest, the fiercest, the largest, the smartest, and those that undertake the longest migrations. Yet even they now struggle, battling for every breath, fighting for every moment of survival. The resilient and the adaptable will endure. Those who cannot will vanish, becoming echoes of the past, buried beneath the melting ice. Each decade, Alaska's sea ice area has shrunk by an average of 13%. In the summer of 2023, sea ice levels reached their lowest point in recorded history, according to NOAA, a stark warning of the rapidly changing Arctic ecosystem. Once a safe haven and hunting ground for polar bears and seals, the shrinking ice forces these animals to migrate farther, swim longer, and face dwindling food supplies. Further north, what was once considered stable land is now collapsing. In Utqiaġvik, temperatures have risen by approximately 4 degrees Fahrenheit compared to the average of the previous decade, according to the Alaska Climate Research Center. As permafrost melts, deep pits form in the ground, turning once solid terrain into unpredictable sinkholes. Caribou and musk oxen, which depend on the vast tundra, now struggle as their habitat diminishes, disrupting the delicate balance of the Arctic ecosystem. Beneath the ocean, another crisis unfolds. Warmer seawater is altering the habitats of fish and invertebrates, adding new challenges to an already fragile food chain. Survival in Alaska is no longer just about hunting and escaping predators. It has become an unending battle of adaptation. Species must adjust or face extinction as the pressures of climate change intensify, fueled not just by natural forces, but also by human activity. Alaska is home to more than 1,000 vertebrate species, over 30 marine mammal species, and more than 500 bird species, including migratory and seabirds. Together, they contribute to the vibrant ecosystem woven through the mountains, ice, and waterways. But in the northernmost reaches of Alaska, the story is changing. The Arctic and subarctic regions, where breathtaking natural beauty meets extreme conditions, are under threat. In winter, temperatures regularly plunge below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, creating a cold, silent world. Here, the Chukchi and Beaufort Seas surround icy plains where sea ice once stretched for thousands of miles. Beneath this ice lies permafrost, a frozen foundation that has remained intact for millennia. Hardy plants such as moss, lichen, and low shrubs have adapted to these conditions, growing slowly through the long, harsh winters. Yet this fragile ecosystem now faces an alarming reality. In 2023, Arctic temperatures increased 4 times faster than the global average, accelerating the melting of sea ice and permafrost. Ancient natural structures are breaking down, reshaping the landscape and threatening the survival of the wildlife that has called this place home for thousands of years. The polar bear, an iconic symbol of the Arctic, is struggling as its habitat and hunting grounds rapidly shrink. As the largest bear species and the world's biggest land carnivore, adult males can weigh up to 1,760 pounds. Though they live on land, polar bears rely heavily on sea ice for survival, classifying them as marine mammals. Their dependence on the Arctic marine ecosystem makes them particularly vulnerable to climate change. A 4-inch thick layer of blubber beneath their skin insulates them against extreme cold, while their black skin, hidden beneath their dense white fur, helps absorb the limited Arctic sunlight. Their large, webbed paws make them powerful swimmers, allowing them to navigate icy waters in search of prey. Currently, Alaska is the only place in the United States where polar bears can be found, with an estimated population of 4,000 to 7,000 individuals. Some inhabit areas near the Bering Land Bridge National Preserve and the Cape Krusenstern National Monument, where the last stretches of wild Arctic terrain provide a fragile sanctuary. Polar bears are master hunters of seals, particularly ringed and bearded seals. They rely on sea ice as a platform for hunting, patiently waiting near breathing holes where seals surface for air. When a seal appears, the bear strikes swiftly, using the seal's blubber as a critical energy source to sustain them through the harsh winters. However, Arctic sea ice is melting at an unprecedented rate. The summer of 2023 recorded the lowest ice levels in history, forcing polar bears to travel farther and swim longer in search of food, sometimes covering tens or even hundreds of miles across open water. Although they can swim continuously for over 60 miles to find sea ice or prey, prolonged journeys increase the risk of exhaustion, energy depletion, and malnutrition, further threatening their survival. As hunting on ice becomes increasingly difficult, polar bears are forced to adapt to less effective food sources, such as scavenging whale carcasses or preying on seabird eggs. Their extraordinary sense of smell allows them to detect whale remains from up to 20 miles away. However, these inconsistent food sources do not provide the high-calorie intake necessary to sustain their massive bodies, especially during winter when their energy demands peak. Scientists warn that within a few decades, some areas of the Arctic may become entirely ice-free during the summer. Without stable ice flows to hunt seals, polar bears face the looming threat of extinction. As their natural habitat deteriorates, many bears are moving farther inland, searching for alternative food sources, such as seabirds and small mammals. However, life on land is not a viable long-term solution. These food sources are insufficient to sustain them, increasing the risk of starvation. The proximity of polar bears to human settlements is also rising, leading to more frequent and potentially dangerous encounters. Hungry and desperate bears are more likely to scavenge near villages, increasing human-wildlife conflicts. According to NOAA, such encounters rose by 15% in 2023. Meanwhile, human activities including oil fishing, commercial fishing, and Arctic tourism continue to encroach on polar bear habitats, further cutting down their struggle for survival. Polar bears are facing an increasingly fragile future, caught between the vanishing ice and a world that is rapidly changing around them. The Bering, Chukchi, and Beaufort Seas in the Arctic region of Alaska are home to 4 species of seals that depend on sea ice for survival: bearded seals, ringed seals, spotted seals, and ribbon seals. These species, collectively known as ice seals, play a vital role in the Arctic ecosystem and are an essential resource for Alaska's indigenous communities. Ice seals rely on sea ice for breeding, hunting, and shelter from predators, such as polar bears. However, the rapid decline of sea ice, especially during the summer, poses a significant threat to their survival. Not only are these seals losing their habitat, but they are also facing disruptions in the food chain. As ocean temperatures rise, small fish and krill, their primary food sources, are either migrating farther north or decreasing in number. In 2023, the Arctic cod population in the Bering Sea declined by 15%, significantly affecting the food supply for bearded and ringed seals. With food becoming scarcer, these seals must hunt for longer periods and travel greater distances, increasing their energy expenditure while reducing their chances of maintaining good health and successful reproduction. This imbalance threatens the fragile Arctic ecosystem and deeply impacts ice-dependent species. The Pacific walrus is one of the largest marine mammals in the Arctic. Males can weigh up to 3,700 pounds, while females range between 1,800 and 2,200 pounds. Their thick layer of fat insulates them from the frigid waters, while their long tusks help them grip slippery ice and dig for food on the ocean floor. Though walruses cannot see their prey beneath the thick mud, their highly sensitive whiskers help them detect and uncover clams, mussels, and other mollusks. Every dive is a race against time, as walruses maximize each second to search for food in the icy depths. Beyond hunting, Pacific walruses rely on floating ice floes for rest between feeding trips and for breeding. These stable ice platforms serve as safe havens where walruses give birth and raise their young, providing protection and a place where calves learn essential survival skills. However, as summer ice melts, walruses are forced to migrate toward the coastlines of Alaska and Russia. There, they rest and forage, though these coastal areas lack the stability of sea ice. When winter arrives and the ice thickens again, walruses return to their frozen habitat. Climate change is rapidly altering this cycle, making survival increasingly difficult. The thinning and shortening duration of sea ice severely impact the distribution and feeding patterns of Pacific walruses. As their icy resting platforms disappear, they are forced to spend more time on coastal sandbanks in Alaska and Russia. In these areas, their feeding trips are limited to nearby coastal waters, reducing their access to the rich food sources on the ocean floor. In addition to habitat loss, walruses face increasing threats from predators such as orcas and polar bears, which take advantage of their weakened state. Meanwhile, the Arctic landscape itself is changing. Permafrost, the permanently frozen ground that defines much of Alaska, is thawing at an alarming rate due to climate change. This not only alters the terrain, but also has significant consequences for the tundra ecosystem. In 2023, studies recorded a substantial loss of vegetation, diminishing vital food sources for herbivores such as caribou. Alaska is home to 98% of the United States grizzly bear population and holds approximately 70% of all grizzly bear in North America. From majestic mountain ranges to vast plains, these powerful animals dominate the landscape. One of the most notable locations for grizzly bear is McNeil River, which boasts the highest concentration of these bears in the state. Each summer, hundreds of grizzly bear gather along the river's waterfalls, skillfully fishing for salmon in the rushing waters. Male grizzly bear, which can weigh up to 1,500 pounds, are an imposing symbol of strength and resilience in Alaska's wild. As omnivores, grizzly bear have a highly varied diet, but in the boreal region, salmon is one of their most critical food sources, particularly during the summer and fall, when salmon return to rivers like the Kenai and Copper to spawn. During peak feeding season, a single grizzly bear can consume up to 88 pounds of food per day. The fat-rich salmon allows them to rapidly gain weight, storing essential energy reserves to survive the harsh Alaskan winter. As winter approaches, grizzly bear enter hibernation, a crucial survival mechanism that conserves energy during months of freezing temperatures and food scarcity. During this period, their body temperature drops, their heart rate slows to just 8 to 10 beats per minute, and their metabolism reaches its lowest point. However, climate change is significantly altering their habitat in Alaska's boreal forests. Winters, once long and stable, have become shorter and more unpredictable, causing bears to emerge from hibernation earlier, often before they have built up enough stored fat to sustain them. This forces them to navigate a harsher environment with increasingly scarce food sources. In addition to climate-related challenges, habitat loss due to resource extraction and infrastructure development is shrinking the forests that brown bears depend on for shelter and sustenance. As they are forced to roam greater distances in search of food, the likelihood of human-bear conflicts rises. Approximately 1,450 grizzly bear are hunted annually in Alaska, further threatening our populations. These growing pressures not only endanger the species, but also signal deeper disruptions in the boreal ecosystem, highlighting the fragile balance of Alaska's wilderness. Another species that thrives in the rugged, rocky highlands of boreal mountain environments is the mountain goat. They are the only representatives of goat-like hoofed animals in North America and are commonly found across the Utqiaġvik and Wrangell mountain ranges, where their population remains stable. Mountain goats possess remarkable adaptations that allow them to survive at altitudes ranging from 5,000 to 13,000 feet, places few other animals can reach. Their thick fur consists of a soft undercoat for insulation and long, coarse outer hairs that shield them from the cold wind and snow. Their specialized hooves, which feature a hard outer rim for durability and a soft, gribby pad for traction, allow them to cling to steep, rocky cliffs with ease. This adaptation is essential for their survival, helping them navigate the treacherous terrain of their alpine habitat. Despite their resilience, mountain goats face growing challenges due to environmental changes. The decline of high-altitude plants, which they depend on for food, threatens their survival. Additionally, shifting snow patterns are having significant effects. Faster spring snowmelt and thinner winter snowpacks are reducing access to critical feeding areas. As a result, mountain goats must expend more energy searching for food, which can impact their reproductive cycles and increase their vulnerability to predators. The Alaska moose, the largest member of the deer family, must continually adapt to the harsh conditions of the boreal region. The largest recorded bull moose, weighed at the Kenai Peninsula Research Station in November 2020, reached an astonishing 1,697 pounds, far exceeding the average weight of a dairy cow. Maintaining such a massive size requires a stable and abundant food supply. Alaska moose primarily feed on aquatic plants and are often found near lakes, marshes, and large bodies of water, which provide ideal conditions for both feeding and reproduction. They are seasonally migratory, traveling up to 60 miles in search of breeding grounds, mates, or richer food sources. The mating season occurs in September and October, during which large bulls engage in forced battles, using their massive antlers to compete for the right to mate. Moose antlers typically weigh between 45 and 50 pounds, with the largest reaching up to 75 pounds. After the mating season, cows carry their calves for about 8 months, giving birth in late spring. Typically, a mother gives birth to a single calf, which remains close by for the first year, learning essential survival skills such as foraging and avoiding predators in the harsh boreal environment. However, Alaska moose face increasing survival challenges due to environmental and human-induced changes. A 2023 study revealed that shorter winters and reduced snowfall have altered boreal forest vegetation, diminishing the availability of key food sources. Additionally, the rising frequency of wildfires driven by a warming climate forces moose to migrate in search of food, increasing their exposure to predators while intensifying competition with other species. Further compounding these threats, habitat loss from construction and resource extraction projects has significantly reduced boreal forest areas. As a result, moose are being forced to migrate into less secure environments, where food is scarcer and risks from predators and human interactions are greater. These challenges highlight the growing pressures on Alaska's moose population as the landscape continues to change. In Alaska's boreal ecosystem, the gray wolf plays a crucial role as an apex predator, regulating prey populations and preventing overpopulation, which helps maintain ecological balance. Their presence is a key indicator of the overall health of the ecosystem. The strength of the gray wolf lies in its highly efficient pack hunting strategy, which is driven by a complex social structure. A typical wolf pack in Alaska consists of 6 to 12 members, led by an alpha pair that makes critical decisions for the group. The strong bonds between pack members allow them to coordinate sophisticated hunting strategies, particularly when targeting large prey such as moose and caribou. During hunts, gray wolves capitalize on their natural advantages. They can move swiftly across deep snow, while larger prey, especially the weak or injured, struggle in these conditions. Working together, the pack strategically surrounds its target, with each wolf assuming a specific role, from chaser to leader, maximizing their chances of a successful kill. Gray wolves primarily inhabit Alaska's vast boreal forests, but climate change is significantly altering their habitat. Rising temperatures and longer summers have increased the frequency and intensity of wildfires, which not only destroy natural habitats, but also reduce prey populations such as moose and caribou. As a result, wolf packs are forced to travel greater distances, often 12 to 18 miles per day, in search of food. This increased range depletes their energy and brings them closer to human settlements, heightening the risk of conflicts with people. Another iconic bird of prey found in Alaska is the bald eagle, the national symbol of the United States. In the harsh boreal ecosystem, bald eagles have developed unique adaptations to survive. Their thick plumage insulates them from the cold, while their ability to migrate allows them to relocate to regions with better food availability when necessary. Bald eagles are considered partial migrators, meaning they only migrate when weather conditions or food sources become insufficient. When rivers and lakes freeze over and fish become scarce, they travel south in search of open waters. With the ability to fly hundreds of miles, bald eagles navigate vast distances to find suitable hunting grounds where rivers and lakes remain unfrozen. In Alaska's wilderness, bald eagles build massive nests atop tall trees and rocky cliffs, carefully constructing them from branches and leaves. These nests are continuously expanded and reinforced with each breeding season, becoming monumental natural structures. Some nests can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and reach 8 feet in diameter, serving as both a secure place to raise young and a fortress against predators. Like many other wildlife species, bald eagles face significant challenges from climate change and human activity. Once powerful rivers are drying up, and the accelerated melting of ice is altering water flow, reducing populations of salmon and other freshwater fish, an essential part of the eagle's diet. This scarcity forces them to travel farther, expending valuable energy just to survive. Additionally, pollution from oil drilling and mining continues to degrade aquatic ecosystems, further threatening their food supply. Now, the birds that symbolize freedom must struggle against both the forces of nature and the growing impacts of human activity. Soaring above the boreal forests, the golden eagle reigns as one of Alaska's most formidable birds of prey, known for its impressive wingspan, strength, and exceptional hunting abilities. During winter, golden eagles migrate from northern Alaska to southern regions in search of food, traveling tens of miles per day to access new hunting grounds. In Alaska, golden eagles typically nest in high-altitude locations such as cliffs, tall trees, and remote mountainous areas. These elevated nesting sites provide a strategic vantage point over their territory, while also offering protection from predators. Their nests, built from branches and other materials, including animal bones, are massive and often reused for many years, with eagles continuously expanding and reinforcing them each breeding season. However, climate change is disrupting their migration patterns and food availability. Warmer temperatures are pushing key prey species, such as snowshoe hares and ptarmigans, farther north or to higher elevations, forcing golden eagles to expand their hunting territories. This shift directly impacts their breeding success and the long-term stability of their populations. Additionally, reduced snowfall in winter alters nesting conditions, particularly in mountainous areas, making it harder for them to raise healthy offspring. Human activities also pose significant threats. Resource extraction projects, including wind turbines and power lines, create dangerous obstacles in the eagle's flight paths, leading to an increasing number of fatal collisions. Pollution from oil and gas drilling, as well as mining operations, further degrades the boldened eagle's habitat and contaminates its food supply, adding to the challenges these majestic birds face in an ever-changing environment. With 32 caribou herds spread across Alaska, an estimated 750,000 caribou inhabit the region. Among them, the western Arctic caribou herd is one of the largest in the world. In 2003, this herd numbered approximately 490,000 individuals, but by 2016, its population had drastically declined to 201,000. The western Arctic caribou undertake one of the most spectacular and majestic migrations on Earth. Each spring, as the ice melts, around 200,000 caribou begin their northward journey, leaving the coastal lowlands and traveling deep into the remote tundra and taiga forests where they give birth. When winter arrives, they return south, completing an annual cycle that traverses icy landscapes and untamed wilderness. Caribou can travel an astonishing 2,000 miles annually, with some individuals covering even greater distances. Scientists have documented a female caribou from the western Arctic herd migrating as far as 2,700 miles, one of the longest recorded land migrations of any terrestrial mammal. This endless journey is the rhythm of life for the caribou, a vital species in the Arctic ecosystem. Caribou are resilient creatures, uniquely adapted to the harsh environments of the Arctic and subarctic. Their thick coats provide insulation against extreme cold, keeping them warm even in frigid temperatures. Their long, strong legs allow them to move efficiently across ice-covered and snow-packed terrain, enabling them to traverse hundreds of miles of challenging landscapes. In summer, they graze on grasses, lichens, and tundra plants. In winter, when the ground is buried beneath snow, caribou use their wide, sharp hooves to dig through the snow in search of lichens, a crucial winter food source. Their survival depends on their ability to locate and access these hidden nutrients beneath the frozen surface. However, rapid climate change is creating unprecedented challenges for caribou. Winters arriving earlier or lasting longer than expected make it harder for them to find food. One particularly dangerous phenomenon, known as icing, occurs when rain falls and then freezes into a hard layer of ice, making it nearly impossible for caribou to reach the lichens beneath. In addition, wildfires, although historically rare in the Arctic tundra, have begun destroying fruticose lichens, another critical winter food source. Reports from 2023 indicate a 15% decline in caribou populations in some areas, partially due to food shortages. Shifting weather patterns have also accelerated migration, forcing caribou to travel greater distances in search of suitable grazing land. Some herds now travel up to 50 miles per day, and in certain years, caribou have been observed crossing 35 miles of sea ice in the Kotzebue Sound to reach safer terrain. Historically, the first snowfall and dropping temperatures signaled the start of migration, but caribou are now adjusting their behavior. If they encounter warmer temperatures or snowless areas, they slow their pace and remain in one place longer. Over the past 3 decades, caribou have been migrating later in the fall, a trend that is expected to continue as Arctic temperatures rise. In the frozen world of the Arctic and subarctic regions of Alaska, the caribou's struggle for survival reflects the larger challenges facing wildlife in a rapidly changing environment. Their extraordinary journey, once shaped by predictable seasonal rhythms, is now becoming increasingly uncertain in the face of climate change. In an environment where temperatures can drop below -50 Fahrenheit, the Arctic fox thrives as a true symbol of resilience in the Arctic and subarctic. Its thick, specially insulated fur is one of nature's marvels, providing exceptional warmth in extreme cold. During winter, its white coat serves as perfect camouflage against the snowy landscape, making it nearly invisible to both prey and predators. The Arctic fox is an omnivore with a highly adaptable hunting strategy, allowing it to survive the harsh conditions of the Arctic. In the summer, when food is more abundant, its diet includes seabirds, eggs, insects, and even berries when available. However, in the unforgiving winter months, its primary food source shifts to lemmings and other small rodents, which are crucial for survival. Despite its adaptability, the Arctic fox is increasingly facing survival challenges due to climate change. The decline in prey populations, driven by shrinking sea ice and shifting ecosystems, has forced Arctic foxes to travel farther in search of food, expending more energy during each hunting trip. Additionally, their ecological environment is changing as larger shrubs begin to replace the smaller native vegetation they rely on. Some Arctic foxes are being pushed farther inland in search of food into environments that are less ideal for their survival. Another significant threat comes from the red fox, a larger and stronger competitor that is migrating northward due to warming Arctic temperatures. This increasing competition for food and habitat has placed additional pressure on the smaller Arctic fox. In 2023, research showed a decline in Arctic fox populations in many areas, particularly in regions where their habitats have been drastically altered by climate change. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, the Arctic fox is losing critical habitat and food sources at an alarming rate, threatening its long-term survival. The muskox is a powerful symbol of strength and resilience, perfectly adapted to the extreme Arctic environment. Its thick, double-layered coat provides exceptional insulation against the harsh cold. The outer layer, long and coarse, like a heavy jacket, shields the animal from biting Arctic winds, while the soft inner wool, called Utqiaġvik, is one of nature's finest insulators, far surpassing even sheep's wool. Thanks to this remarkable adaptation, Muskoxen can endure temperatures below -40 degrees Fahrenheit without flinching. During the harsh winter months, when snow blankets the ground, Muskoxen use their powerful hooves and heads to break through the frozen layers, searching for grasses, lichens, and small shrubs buried beneath. Their strength and adaptability are vital for survival in such an unforgiving landscape. But the true strength of the muskox extends beyond its physical adaptations. When faced with predators like wolves or bears, the herd instinctively forms a defensive circle, with the young sheltered at the center, while the adults stand at the perimeter, ready to defend with their strong curved horns. This united front is one of their most effective survival strategies. Unlike caribou, Muskoxen do not migrate over long distances, but they do travel short ranges at about 15 to 30 miles in search of food. In winter, they rely on sparse vegetation hidden beneath the snow, while in the brief Arctic summer, when the sun shines nearly 24 hours a day, competition for mates begins. Mature males, weighing up to 800 pounds, engage in fierce battles, clashing their massive horns to determine the dominant bull. These dramatic collisions create thunderous echoes across the tundra, reminiscent of icebergs crashing in the distance. In spring, as the ice begins to thaw and fresh grasses emerge, calves are born, ensuring they have access to the most abundant food of the year. However, changing climate conditions pose new challenges for muskoxen. Increasingly frequent icing events, where rain falls and freezes into a thick, impenetrable layer, prevent them from reaching food buried beneath the snow. In 2023, the rise in such events led to significant losses among herds, as many muskoxen were unable to break through the ice to feed. Beyond ice, rising temperatures are altering Arctic vegetation. Larger shrubs and fast-growing grasses are spreading, outcompeting the smaller plants like lichens that muskoxen depend on in winter. As a result, herds must travel greater distances in search of food, expending critical energy in an already demanding environment. For these rugged survivors, every day in the Arctic remains a relentless battle for survival. Following frozen rivers, the journey leads to Alaska's vast coastlines, home to some of the richest and most expansive coastal and marine ecosystems in the world. With over 54,000 miles of coastline, Alaska supports a diverse and thriving network of life. Though its beaches may appear desolate, they harbor a vibrant community of wildlife. This region also serves as a crucial migration corridor for predators such as gray wolves and brown bears, which rely on the sea's bounty for sustenance. Alaska is home to more than 300 species of fish, spanning both freshwater and saltwater environments. Among them, trout species like rainbow trout and steelhead trout display remarkable adaptability. Some remain in freshwater their entire lives, while others migrate between rivers and the ocean, similar to salmon. Steelhead trout, for instance, follow an anadromous life cycle, journeying from freshwater rivers to the sea before returning to spawn. Alaska's salmon species, including king salmon, sockeye salmon, pink salmon, and coho salmon, are particularly known for their extraordinary migratory spawning behavior. They lay eggs in late summer and early fall in freshwater streams and lakes, where gravel beds provide the necessary oxygen for their development. Young salmon spend months to years in freshwater before preparing for their journey to the ocean. A crucial process known as smoltification enables them to transition from freshwater to saltwater environments. Once in the ocean, salmon spend 2 to 5 years feeding on small fish and crustaceans, building the energy reserves needed for their return journey. When the time comes, they navigate back to the exact river where they were born, an astonishing feat of nature. Scientists believe they rely on chemical signals in the water and the Earth's magnetic field to find their way home. After fulfilling their mission of spawning, most salmon species complete their life cycle, marking the end of their long and arduous journey. Due to climate instability in the Arctic and subarctic regions of Alaska, the snowy owl's pure white plumage provides perfect camouflage, blending seamlessly into the icy landscape. Their thick feathers, even covering their feet, offer exceptional insulation, allowing them to withstand temperatures as low as -40 degrees Fahrenheit. This remarkable adaptation has made snowy owls one of the most formidable predators in the harsh Arctic environment. Snowy owls are master hunters, perfectly suited to the vast snow-covered plains and open terrain, which provide an unobstructed view of their prey. Unlike most other owl species, snowy owls are diurnal, meaning they hunt during the day, especially in the Arctic summer when the sun never sets. This allows them to take full advantage of the endless daylight, gliding silently over the tundra and using their sharp eyesight to detect even the slightest movement, even in the dim winter light. Lemmings, a common Arctic rodent, are their primary food source. But snowy owls are also capable of hunting hares, seabirds, and even young foxes when prey is scarce. However, their survival is closely tied to the lemming population, which has been significantly affected by shifting temperatures and changing snow conditions. The melting of permafrost and alterations in Arctic vegetation pose further threats. Larger shrubs and fast-growing plants are replacing the smaller vegetation that once supported lemming populations, ultimately disrupting the snowy owl's food supply. These environmental changes are also transforming the once open landscapes that snowy owls rely on for breeding and hunting. As their habitat diminishes, the challenges they face continue to grow, making it increasingly difficult for their populations to thrive in an ever-changing Arctic. The beluga whale, a well-known marine species, has not been immune to the environmental changes occurring in Alaska. As an iconic animal of the Arctic and subarctic regions, the beluga is renowned for its ability to thrive in harsh environments. Often called the white whale due to its distinct coloration, it is also famous for its wide range of vocalizations, earning it the nickname Canary of the Sea. Belugas follow a unique seasonal migration pattern. In the summer, they move northward, congregating in rivers, estuaries, and coastal bays, such as Cook Inlet, Bristol Bay, and the Beaufort Sea, where food is abundant and waters are warmer. When winter sets in and sea ice forms, they migrate south in search of open water. Their thick blubber, up to 6 inches thick, provides insulation against the frigid temperatures and helps conserve energy when food becomes scarce. Belugas live in small social groups called pods, typically consisting of 2 to 25 individuals, though during migration, these pods can grow to hundreds of whales. This social structure enhances their hunting efficiency, allowing them to encircle and share food among the group. Their diverse diet includes octopus, squid, crabs, shrimp, and fish, such as salmon, cod, herring, and flatfish. With the ability to dive as deep as 3,000 feet and hold their breath for up to 25 minutes, belugas can hunt in both shallow coastal waters and along the seafloor. One of their most vital survival skills is echolocation, using sound waves to locate prey. By emitting clicks, belugas can detect objects even in dark waters or beneath thick ice. However, climate change is rapidly altering their habitat. The accelerated melting of sea ice and rising ocean temperatures have forced belugas to migrate farther south in search of food and shelter, placing additional nutritional stress on them and disrupting their reproductive cycles. Human activities further compound these challenges. Increased underwater noise from ships and industrial operations, such as seismic exploration, interferes with belugas' communication and echolocation, both of which are essential for hunting and navigation. The rising frequency of loud disturbances can even cause temporary hearing loss, disorienting the whales and making survival in their already changing environment even more difficult. In the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, elk move like silent shadows, numerous yet vulnerable. During the summer months, between 10,000 and 20,000 elk gather in lush valleys where sprawling grasslands provide abundant forage. However, when winter arrives and blankets their habitat in deep snow, these majestic animals are forced to migrate to lower elevations where the snow is thinner and vegetation remains accessible. On this journey, elk calves face formidable predators, including gray wolves and grizzly bears, lurking within the ancient forests. As the second largest deer species in North America, surpassed only by moose, adult male elk can weigh between 700 and 1,100 pounds and stand up to 5 feet tall at the shoulder. Their impressive antlers, 1,100 pounds and weighing around 40 pounds, symbolize both strength and dominance. These bone structures grow rapidly each summer, up to an inch per day, fueled by testosterone, the same hormone that drives intense battles for mating rights. As winter sets in, testosterone levels drop, signaling the bulls to shed their antlers. Without their primary defense, they become more vulnerable to predators like wolves and grizzlies. While grizzly bears pose a significant threat to elk calves, there are no recorded instances of them hunting healthy adult bulls. Such a confrontation could be deadly for the bear itself. Despite the dangers, elk possess remarkable adaptations for survival. Their speed, reaching up to 45 miles per hour, can help them evade wolves in open terrain. In deep snow, herd unity becomes their greatest weapon. By moving together as a tightly packed group, they minimize the risk of individuals being singled out. During the breeding season, females form protective circles around their young, while dominant males use their sheer strength and towering antlers to ward off threats. In the unforgiving wilderness of Yellowstone, survival is not just about physical power. It is the strength of the herd, resilience, and unity that ensure the elk's legacy endures. When hunting large prey such as elk, moose, or bison, grizzly bears act as patient and strategic predators, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. With the ability to sprint at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour over short distances, they use sudden bursts of power to close in on their prey, turning the element of surprise into a decisive advantage. However, grizzlies are not solely reliant on hunting. They are highly adaptable omnivores that adjust their diet to maximize energy intake throughout the seasons. In the fall, as salmon flood Yellowstone streams, grizzlies become expert fishers, standing at the water's edge with calculated patience. Using speed and precision, they catch the nutrient-rich fish, stockpiling essential fat reserves to sustain them through the long winter months of hibernation. Every bite fuels their survival, ensuring they can endure the harsh conditions ahead. Beyond being opportunistic predators, grizzly bears are dominant forces when it comes to defending their food and territory. When threatened, they rely on sheer strength and intimidation, using their muscular build as an impenetrable defense. Their size advantage often gives them dominance in conflicts with smaller predators like gray wolves or cougars. However, competition is not limited to other species. Grizzlies frequently battle among themselves for access to food and territory. Studies indicate that 10 to 15% of bear cubs fall victim to adult male grizzlies during these brutal encounters, highlighting the intense survival challenges even within their own species. Grizzly bears play a critical role in maintaining the balance of Yellowstone's ecosystem. As omnivores, they do not rely solely on hunting, but also forage for berries, seeds, and other vegetation. In doing so, they serve as natural seed dispersers, spreading hundreds of seeds daily and fostering plant regeneration throughout the vast wilderness. Additionally, by preying on herbivores such as elk and deer, grizzlies help regulate their populations, preventing overgrazing and promoting healthy vegetation growth. In this way, they act as nature's stewards, both predators and protectors, shaping the landscape with every step. Through their powerful presence, grizzlies contribute to the resilience and vitality of Yellowstone's forests, ensuring the ecosystem thrives for generations to come. In the depths of Yellowstone's dense forests and rugged peaks, the cougar moves with silent precision, embodying the grace of a masterful predator. Known scientifically as Puma concolor, this elusive big cat belongs to the Felidae family, sharing lineage with powerful hunters like jaguars and cheetahs. Its range extends across the Western Hemisphere, from the frigid forests of Canada to the lush rainforests of South America. This widespread distribution has earned the cougar a Guinness World Record for the most names of any mammal, including mountain lion, puma, catamount, panther, and even mountain screamer. Despite its adaptability, the cougar remains one of Yellowstone's most elusive predators. In 2023, only around 20 recorded sightings occurred, making an encounter with one the rare stroke of luck. Scientific studies reveal that cougar ancestors emerged approximately 3 to 4 million years ago during the Pliocene epoch. Following the Ice Age, their adaptability enabled them to thrive in diverse environments, from open grasslands and dense woodlands to rugged mountain terrain. Adult male cougars typically weigh between 115 and 220 pounds and measure 5 to 8 feet in length, including a long tail that enhances their agility and balance. Females are smaller, weighing between 64 and 141 pounds, yet they are just as formidable. Their coat, ranging from tawny brown to grayish hues, serves as natural camouflage, allowing them to blend seamlessly into rocky landscapes and forested shadows, moving like phantoms through the wilderness. Solitary by nature, cougars communicate with one another through scent markings and sharp vocalizations, subtly asserting dominance over their vast territories. These range across forests, deep canyons, grassy plains, and craggy outcrops, all serving as prime hunting grounds. Even in Yellowstone's harsh winters, cougars display remarkable adaptability, skillfully avoiding deep snow, by traversing rocky terrain and patiently waiting in ambush for unsuspecting prey. Their resilience and stealth make them one of nature's most enduring and enigmatic hunters. Yellowstone is more than just a national park. It is a world of untamed beauty, where life unfolds in its rawest and most breathtaking form. From the stealth of the cougar to the thunderous charge of bison, from the eerie call of wolves to the quiet persistence of grizzlies preparing for winter, every creature plays a role in this delicate yet powerful ecosystem. As the seasons change and the cycle of life continues, Yellowstone remains a testament to the resilience of nature. It is a wild sanctuary, a reminder of what once was and what must be preserved, standing as a symbol of nature's enduring spirit for generations to come. In this sprawling landscape, where the air crackles with the energy of life, the geothermal wonders of the park mirror the vibrant dynamics of its inhabitants. As the sun rises over the rugged peaks, illuminating the valleys below, the symphony begins anew. The morning mist dances in the cool air, and the call of the loons echoes across the lakes, a haunting melody that stirs the soul. Here, the elk gather at dawn, their majestic antlers silhouetted against the gilded horizon, embodying the untamed grace of this majestic wilderness. Their haunting bugles resonate, weaving through the valleys, a proclamation of life and vitality, an invitation to witness the eternal cycle that unfolds beneath the vast Montana sky. Yet beyond the beauty and grandeur lies the fragility of this ecosystem. Every season brings challenges and changes, demanding resilience from its denizens. As the frost grips the land in winter's embrace, survival becomes an art form, each creature adapting, evolving, and persevering against the odds. The wolves, with their keen instincts and undeniable intelligence, orchestrate their hunts under the cloak of twilight, each move calculated in the dance of survival. Meanwhile, the delicate balance of predator and prey reverberates through every rustle in the underbrush, echoing nature's age-old tale of life and death. The indomitable spirit of Yellowstone calls to us, not merely as observers, but as stewards of this precious land. It implores us to listen closely, to marvel at the intricate relationships that govern this vibrant ecosystem, and to acknowledge our role in preserving its wonders for posterity. As we tread softly on the trails forged by those who came before, may we find inspiration in the untamed beauty that surrounds us, a whisper of what we can achieve when we honor the wisdom of nature. In this primal sanctuary, we are not just visitors. We are part of a continuum, a living legacy that echoes through the mountains and ripples across the rivers, reminding us of the profound connection we share with the wild. Alaska's coastal waters are home to over 3,700 species of marine invertebrates, thriving from shallow coastal areas to the deep ocean. These species are found throughout the Bering Sea in the north, across the Aleutian Islands, the Gulf of Alaska, and down to the state's southern borders. The diverse range of marine invertebrates includes crustaceans such as crabs and shrimp, echinoderms like starfish and sea urchins, and mollusks such as octopuses, oysters, and clams. Marine invertebrates play a crucial role in Alaska's marine ecosystem. They serve as a primary food source for fish, seabirds, and marine mammals, while also contributing to environmental health by filtering water and recycling nutrients. However, climate change is severely impacting these organisms. Rising ocean temperatures are altering their growth, distribution, and survival, while accelerating ocean acidification. Some species, such as king crabs, have been observed migrating farther north in search of colder waters. This shift disrupts population structures, alters the natural food web, and threatens the delicate balance of Alaska's marine ecosystem. Sea otters are among the marine species most affected by the decline of invertebrate populations. As the largest member of the weasel family, which includes skunks, wolverines, badgers, martens, and minks. Sea otters can grow up to 6 feet long and weigh over 100 pounds, making them one of the largest otter species in Alaska. They inhabit regions such as Prince William Sound, Kenai Fjords, and the Aleutian Islands, with other populations extending from Russia's Kuril Islands to the coasts of California. Sea otters spend nearly their entire lives in the water, where they eat, sleep, mate, and even give birth. Their dense fur and ability to regulate body temperature allow them to thrive in cold marine environments, minimizing threats from land-based predators. As keystone predators, sea otters play a crucial role in maintaining the ecological balance of Alaska's coastal ecosystems. One of their most important contributions is controlling sea urchin populations, as unchecked sea urchin growth can devastate kelp forests by overgrazing. These kelp forests provide essential habitats for fish and other marine species, making sea otters vital to preserving biodiversity. By preferentially consuming larger and older sea urchins, sea otters help manage the population and allow kelp forests to flourish. This prevents intertidal zones from transforming into barren marine deserts, ensuring a thriving ecosystem where fish and invertebrates can prosper. Additionally, sea otters have an exceptionally high metabolic rate, requiring them to consume large amounts of food daily to stay warm and maintain energy. This constant feeding behavior plays a significant role in sustaining a diverse and balanced food web, contributing to the overall stability of Alaska's vast coastal ecosystems. In the waters of Alaska, orcas are widely distributed and renowned for their exceptional hunting abilities. Although often called killer whales, this name is somewhat misleading, as orcas actually belong to the dolphin family. The term originates from their hunting strategies, as they often work together in coordinated groups, similar to wolf packs, and their tendency to prey on other whales and large marine predators such as seals and sea lions. Alaska's coastal ecosystems, including the continental shelf and deep waters, provide an ideal habitat for orcas. They migrate seasonally along the coastline from southeast Alaska through the Aleutian Islands and occasionally appear in Prince William Sound. The region's rich abundance of prey, including salmon, cod, and other marine species, supports the strong development of orca populations. Orcas in Alaska are among the largest of their kind, with adult males reaching lengths up to 27 feet. Their adaptability allows them to thrive in diverse marine environments, from the frigid Arctic waters to more temperate regions. As apex predators, orcas sit at the top of the ocean's food chain, not just in Alaska, but worldwide, thanks to their intelligence, cooperative hunting tactics, and sheer strength. However, despite their dominance, orcas are not immune to the effects of climate change. Rising ocean temperatures and rapidly melting ice are altering the marine ecosystems that depend on. As their traditional hunting grounds, particularly near the Arctic, shrink, orcas are forced to travel greater distances in search of food. This increased strain impacts their health and survival, highlighting the far-reaching consequences of environmental change on even the ocean's most powerful predators. While Alaska's wildlife struggles to adapt to its harsh and ever-changing wilderness, human activities are leaving an increasingly significant impact. Smoke plumes from oil and gas extraction plants streak across once clear skies, and industrial projects continue to expand, cutting through fragile ecosystems. Rising temperatures, melting ice, frequent natural disasters, and relentless resource extraction are reshaping habitats, pushing many of Alaska's iconic species toward the brink of extinction. Without timely intervention, the state's ecosystems will continue to deteriorate, threatening the survival of its wildlife. In response to these challenges, Alaska is taking continuous steps to protect its unique environment. Conservation measures have been implemented to minimize human impact and ensure the survival of wildlife. One of the most effective strategies is the protection of critical habitats. The Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, ANWR, is a prime example. In 2023, the Alaskan government restricted oil extraction activities in this area to safeguard species such as polar bears and gray wolves. These efforts aim to preserve habitats for animals that rely on ice and cold temperatures to survive. Among Alaska's conservation successes, the recovery of the bowhead whale stands out as a remarkable achievement. Once nearly driven to extinction due to overhunting for oil and blubber, the bowhead whale population had dwindled to around 1,000 individuals by the late 19th century. The establishment of the International Whaling Commission, IWC, and conservation efforts focused on protecting the species marked a turning point. By 2023, reports from NOAA indicated that the bowhead whale population had rebounded to over 16,000 individuals, a testament to the power of responsible, science-based conservation. The story of the bowhead whale is a powerful reminder that dedicated action can restore and protect endangered species. Each of us can contribute to conservation by adopting renewable energy, reducing plastic waste, and supporting wildlife protection programs. Have you ever set foot in the Arctic, walked through Alaska's boreal forests, or listened to the ocean breeze along its rugged coastline? If so, share your experiences in the comments below. Your insights and stories inspire others to take part in protecting Alaska's incredible ecosystems. Together, we can preserve this breathtaking environment for ourselves and future generations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to join us on more adventures where the wonders of nature continue to unfold. But far to the north, the Arctic wolf, a subspecies of the gray wolf, faces a very different kind of challenge. On the open green tundra, a wolf pack approaches a herd of muskoxen, setting their sights on the most fragile calf. They attempt to break the herd's formation, forcing the young one away from its mother. The predators nearly succeed, but the muskoxen refuse to let it happen. The entire herd turns back, driving the wolves away with sheer force. In winter, muskox herds often grow nearly twice the size they are in summer, maximizing their defense against both predators and the brutal elements. Their phalanx defense, simple yet powerful, is nearly impenetrable. When the herd holds its ground, the hunt fails. Golden eyes retreat in silence. Yet even failure brings its own lesson. What matters more in a brutal hunt, raw strength or calculated strategy? In the unforgiving world of winter, wolves learn from every misstep, sharpening their instincts, refining their tactics. From the Arctic tundra to the Rocky Mountains, from solitary pursuits to coordinated pack hunts, they continue to evolve, to adapt, to endure. And with each passing winter comes a new trial, where snow hides the prey, but also reveals the strength and the limits of nature's finest hunters. Along the snow-covered mountain ranges of North America, a long rising howl pierces the icy valley below, an ancient, familiar sound echoing through layers of old pines and limestone slopes. It is a sign, a reminder that the gray wolf, the apex presence of the temperate wilderness, is still here, still holding its ground in the untamed wild. Not a legend, nor a faint echo from a prehistoric past, but a living force that continues to shape the essence of a world that remains beautifully, powerfully wild. More than just the top predator of the temperate food chain, the gray wolf, Canis lupus, carries with it a story that stretches back over 1.8 million years. Their history begins in a distant corner of the East, where ancient members of the Canid family first set foot on the lands of Asia. The earliest known ancestor of the gray wolf, Canis chilensis, lived in northern China around 1.8 million years ago. Through many stages of evolution, this lineage gradually gave rise to Canis mospicensis, a smaller wolf species that roamed across Europe between approximately 800,000 and 300,000 years ago. This species became a vital link in the evolutionary chain leading to the modern gray wolf. The oldest fossil showing the full characteristics of Canis lupus was found in Germany and dates back roughly 400,000 years. Originally inhabiting only Europe and Asia, the ancestors of today's gray wolf began expanding their range. Toward the end of the Pleistocene epoch, around 25,000 years ago, a population of wolves living in Beringia, the land bridge that once connected Siberia to Alaska, migrated across into North America. The genetic traces of that ancient journey still remain in modern gray wolf populations found in Alaska, Montana, and Wyoming. Today, the gray wolf is the largest member of the Canid family. Its body length ranges from 1.3 to 1.6 meters, with an average weight of 36 to 68 kilograms. Some individuals in northern Canada have been recorded weighing over 80 kilograms. two-layer coat helps the gray wolf thrive in extreme environments. The inner layer is soft and dense, providing insulation, while the outer layer is coarse, long, and water-resistant, shielding the body from icy winds and heavy snow. Thanks to this adaptation, they can survive in temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius while maintaining their agility and hunting ability. Every physical trait and behavior of the gray wolf is the product of hundreds of thousands of years of natural selection. But their evolution doesn't end with biology. They've also developed complex social traits. Gray wolves live in structured packs, follow clear hierarchies, hunt with coordination and strategy, and communicate through sound, scent, and body language. The gray wolf is one of the most highly diversified species in the canid family in terms of subspecies variation. They are widely distributed, ranging across North America, Europe, Asia, and parts of Northern Africa. Among them, only one subspecies currently lives in Africa, the African golden wolf, scientifically known as Canis leupaster. For decades, this elusive animal was mistaken for a variant of the golden jackal. Its strikingly similar appearance led scientists to misidentify its true lineage. But in 2015, a groundbreaking study published in the journal Current Biology completely reshaped that understanding. Using full genome sequencing, researchers discovered that Canis leupaster is actually a distinct branch, more closely related to the gray wolf and the coyote than to the jackal. The genetic makeup of this species is the result of ancient hybridization. Roughly 1 to 1.7 million years ago, during the Pleistocene epoch, an ancestral population of gray wolves interbred with the Ethiopian wolf. The result was a new species with a mixed genetic structure, approximately 72% gray wolf and 28% Ethiopian wolf. This ancient merging didn't just create a wolf suited for the African climate. It highlighted the extraordinary evolutionary flexibility of the entire canid lineage. The African golden wolf's body reflects its harsh and sun-scorched environment. Measuring about 127 centimeters in length, with a shoulder height of just over 40 centimeters, it's smaller than its northern cousins but built to endure arid heat. Its fur is a striking blend of grayish gold, streaked with black markings, reddish hues on the muzzle and ears, and bold white patches on the chest and around the mouth. This coloration not only provides camouflage beneath the blazing savanna sun, but also visually distinguishes it from jackal species that share its range. Today, the African golden wolf roams from Egypt and Libya to Ethiopia, stretching as far west as Senegal and as far south as Tanzania. It's not bound to one habitat. It thrives in deserts, sparse woodlands, grasslands, and even cultivated farmland. This remarkable adaptability is what sets the African golden wolf apart. It feeds on whatever it can find: rodents, lizards, birds, fruit, and carrion, a survival strategy common among canids. Across the vast continent of Eurasia, the gray wolf reigns in many forms, from the dense forests of Western Europe to the frozen tundra of Siberia. It carves out a domain that spans thousands of miles. The most widespread and commonly recognized of these is the Eurasian wolf. This subspecies ranges across Europe and Asia, from temperate mountain ranges to snow-covered expanses of the north. Measuring between 105 and 160 centimeters in body length and weighing anywhere from 32 to 70 kilograms, they are built for endurance. Their dense coats shift in tone with the seasons, from pale gray to deep charcoal, offering insulation in the winter and camouflage among autumn leaves in deciduous forests. Farther north, where the ground remains frozen for most of the year, the tundra wolf. Canis lupus albus emerges as a resilient sentinel of the Arctic frontier. Inhabiting the vast Siberian tundra, this formidable predator can grow up to 180 centimeters long, weighing between 40 and 50 kilograms. Across the wind-swept highlands of Mongolia and Tibet, the Mongolian wolf reigns supreme. Its genetic signature is so distinct that some scientists argue it should be reclassified as its own species, suggesting a unique and isolated path of evolution within the canid family tree. To the south, where low mountain ranges and Mediterranean forests stretch across Italy and the Iberian Peninsula, smaller yet striking subspecies appear. The Italian wolf stands out with an almost entirely independent genetic structure, separating it from all other gray wolf populations. Meanwhile, the Iberian wolf is more compact. Its legs and back adorned with signature black streaks that make it instantly recognizable, even in the undergrowth of dense woodlands. Further southeast, the Indian wolf finds its home across the sun-scorched Indian subcontinent and the semi-arid landscapes of Southwest Asia. Sculpted by heat and scarcity, it is smaller in size, measuring just 100 to 130 centimeters and weighing between 17 and 25 kilograms. Its short, light brown-gray coat reflects the sun's rays, enabling it to hunt and travel during the scorching daylight hours without overheating. But the central figures in today's story are the warriors of North America. Here, where open plains carve through the rugged Rocky Mountains and deep forests brush the edges of eternal snow, the gray wolf reaches the peak of its diversity. In the far north of Canada, where winters are so unforgiving it feels as though the earth itself has frozen solid, roams the Arctic wolf, a ghost of the snow, cloaked in white. Its coat isn't just for warmth, it's nature's perfect camouflage, allowing it to vanish against a backdrop of ice and silence. With a medium build, stretching close to 1.8 meters and weighing between 45 and 70 kilograms, the Arctic wolf is engineered for endurance. It survives in temperatures as low as -30 degrees Celsius and thrives through the dim, drawn-out days of the polar winter. These wolves live in isolation across the remote Queen Elizabeth archipelago, a realm so extreme few predators dare to compete. Farther south, in the dense forests of Alaska and the rugged wilderness of western Canada, lives one of the largest and most powerful gray wolf subspecies, the northwestern wolf, Canis lupus occidentalis. Some individuals of this formidable lineage have been measured at over 2.13 meters long, weighing more than 79 kilograms, giants of the canid world. Once across the Great Plains, where forests met endless seas of grass, another subspecies ruled, the Great Plains wolf. But by 1926, it had vanished, a casualty of overhunting and habitat destruction. And yet, its story is not entirely over. In protected reserves, scattered across the central United States, its bloodline stirs once more, revived through careful conservation efforts. Along the southern borderlands of the US and Mexico, the Mexican wolf clings to survival. The smallest of all gray wolf subspecies, it weighs just 23 to 41 kilograms. Nearly wiped out in the mid-20th century, only a few individuals survived in captivity. But through decades of tireless recovery work, a miracle took shape. By 2023, at least 257 Mexican wolves had been returned to the wild, a quiet but profound victory. To the northeast, in the maple forests and lake-rich terrain of eastern Canada and the northeastern United States, lives another enigmatic figure, the eastern wolf, Canis lupus lycaon. Genetic studies suggest it is a hybrid, part gray wolf, part coyote. Its DNA is so distinct that many scientists argue it should be recognized as an entirely separate species. This ongoing debate, species or subspecies, reveals just how fluid evolution can be. In the end, it may come down to a single thread of DNA. But while science seeks answers, many indigenous cultures in Alaska and Montana have long known the wolf's deeper truth. To them, the gray wolf is more than a creature of biology. It is an ancestral spirit, a symbol of wisdom, of strength, of resilience, a soul that walks not just the land, but the stories passed down through generations. In the oral traditions of many indigenous peoples, the wolf's howl is more than a sound. It is a prayer, a voice sent to the ancestors, echoing across the mountains and forests like a sacred thread, binding people to the rhythms of the natural world. Science tells us another truth, that these howls are the wolf's way of staying in touch with the pack, calls to mark territory, cries to gather the group for a coordinated hunt. But somehow, the two truths coexist, biology and belief, interwoven like fur and frost. At the heart of the gray wolf's survival lies a fundamental truth. This is a creature shaped by teamwork. Wolves are carnivores that hunt in packs, capable of bringing down prey many times their own size. Their primary food source in the wild is hoofed mammals, falling into two main categories: mid-sized animals like mule deer and caribou, weighing between 23 and 130 kilograms, and giants like moose and American bison, tipping the scale at over 600 kilograms. As the trees of Yellowstone ignite in a blaze of red and orange, and mist settles like a veil over the fields, a quiet but crucial chapter begins. Autumn. It's not as dramatic as spring, nor as punishing as winter, but fall is a time of preparation, of quiet transformation, and in this season, every step the wolf takes is a step toward survival. In Lamar Valley, often called the Serengeti of North America, wolf packs glide through the pale light of dawn. Cold winds descend from the Absaroka Range, sweeping across their path. At Slough Creek, a favored spot for wolf watchers, visitors come not only to catch a glimpse of these elusive hunters, but to listen, to hear their howls pierce the silence, echoes of ancient prayers whispered into the bones of the wilderness. As the first snow dusts the distant peaks and maple leaves give way to frost, the gray wolf enters one of the most pivotal phases of its life cycle. This is when packs solidify. Autumn is more than just a season of hunting. It is a time to reinforce order, to deepen bonds, to prepare for the long winter ahead. Every trail followed, every chase undertaken, tightens the fabric of the pack. Beneath their fearsome image lies a sophisticated social structure. A typical wolf pack includes 5 to 10 members, but under ideal conditions, the number can swell to 20. Most often, this is not just a group, it's a family. At the center stands the alpha pair, the leaders, usually the only ones who breed. But their dominance is not rooted in aggression. It is earned through experience, through calm authority, through the trust of the pack. Beyond the hunt, fall marks a shift in priority, territory, establishing it, protecting it. Wolves walk the same paths repeatedly, marking the land with scent, leaving behind an invisible map that rides the wind, a quiet but unmistakable declaration. This place is ours. And as you follow their tracks across the frost-kissed earth, one striking detail stands out: their coats. A wild mosaic of colors, no two quite the same. This isn't just aesthetic, it's the visible imprint of thousands of years of evolution.